everyone, I am Mrityunjay. I am the Director General for Research and Innovation at KIT University and the CEO of KIT Technology Business Incubator and also the Chairman of Bhubaneswar City Knowledge Innovation Cluster, which is an initiative of the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. So what I do for the interest of the faculties, researchers, clinicians, I help them to build interesting proposals which are translational in nature, no more basic sciences. And also I help individuals or the group of individuals, those who come to us with right problem statements, we help them to take their ideas into enterprise. So promoting startup companies out of deep technology. And also we see that technology which are developed from various institutions of startup companies, this will not be on the shelf. How they can be deployed on the ground. So for that, through cluster approach, we bring technology deployment program through Bhubaneswar City Knowledge Innovation Cluster.
How did you found your interest in biotechnology and how did you took it as your career?
And if you really want to contribute in terms of innovations, in terms of experiments, biotech is a very quite exciting field. Biosciences, biotech, two are different things because your approach in biotech has to be how do you do good science to create a technology. And that's what in India, if you look at institutions, researchers, I know they're good in biosciences, but creating technology is a different ballgame altogether. So you do experiments not just to publish a paper, but you to create a new technology in terms of a product or a process or a service. Then when it gets commercialized, I call this as a biotechnology. Information, the Bio3 policy, which is going to really give a boost to the manufacturing capabilities of Indian continent, in any continent for biotechnology. Today, a bachelor student who has passed bachelor's in biotech can apply for grant to funding agencies we have called a BIRAC, which is a offshoot of DBT, which promotes innovations in the country and it gives money to an individual who is even young as a bachelor's pass. If they get selected, they get 50 lakhs of grant rupees, which was never happening earlier. So what you do to measure hemoglobin, you go to a hospital, you go to a diagnostic lab. Can I integrate AI/ML into the healthcare sector? Can I build a device with taking electronics help that if I don't take any blood, simply I take your fingertip, put it on a sensor, can it give me hemoglobin values? India is rising and signing on this, supporting several schemes to nurture innovations, especially in biotech sector, by various ministries, which I said. So incubators are people, individual or a startup company who really works with an incubation center and they grow together. Okay. So they should not be afraid of their academic organizations, but they have to be afraid of the incubation center. And today I think we are almost close to more than 1,000 plus incubator.
Even the government initiative of Make in India has played a major role here.
Yeah, Make in India, Startup India, Invest India, all these platforms are helping. Incubation centers are an entity, an ecosystem, which brings a lot of expertise, which helps ideas to go to next level enterprise. First PSA to the Honorable Prime Minister of the Government of India was late Abdul Kalamji. And currently our PSA is Professor A.K. Sood, who advised the Government of India, especially the Honorable Prime Minister, on scientific things. Now under that office of PSA, they have established now 8 clusters. Chilika Lake has a weed species. Now Nalban is expanding in Chilika. Chilika is shrinking. But cluster says, this is a problem. How do you bring complementary expertise, including industry, academia, researcher, public, civil society, bureaucracy, local political group to resolve it under a clusters program. So gone are those days when only we were confined to do science with fellowship.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for coming in this platform. The most important thing, when I reached out to you, you did not take a single second to say yes to me. So thank you for your kind gesture. And this platform is mainly addressing to the young researchers and young minds of India.
Very nice.
Right? And I think this platform, I'm trying to bring some value addition to their life. Because when you're in an early life of your or your career or your studies, you have a lot of confusion. You are not sure what to do and what to take forward in your career plan.
I was a little confused during my student's career.
Okay. So in that note only, sir, how did you found your basically interest in biotechnology, and how did you took it as your career?
Good. So I think if you look at biotech, which was quite new a couple of years back when I was doing my bachelor studies. So I was preparing for medicine, and many of the students they are aspiring for medicine, and many of them apply for it, try for several rounds, and many of them might not succeed. So then they look for different kind of career. But what I realized, even though I cleared medicine MBBS, I realized that if you really want to contribute in terms of innovations, in terms of experiments, biotech is a very quite exciting field. So I applied for, I looked around what is existing. So I looked at different universities. There was a common, entrance test through JNU. So then we applied for it. Unfortunately, went to Goa University.
Okay.
And there's a very specialized area called marine biotechnology, which is not in many places, I think in 2 or 3 places. So that's what, the main why biotech excited me is because it's a very experimental field. Whatever you do, you take food, you take medicines, you take anything, wherever you'll find there is applications through biological systems. So that's what, excited me to be in the game of biotechnology. And for that, you have to do a lot of training, capacity building program. So that's what I did, and try to do a good master's program, which I did from Goa University Marine Biotechnology way back in 1997, 99. And then people always look for jobs. And then I said, let's do a PhD program. So I did from Delhi University PhD program, and I worked with some interesting bacteria, which was degrading, some of the toxic chemicals. It's called HCH, hexachlorocyclohexane, which is a potent pesticide. Now just imagine how bacteria can really metabolize these kind of chemicals and neutralize those things. Yeah, simply you get carbon dioxide and water. I think these experiments if you want to conduct, biotech is quite exciting for it. That's what attracted me to do experiments on bacteria to look at can you build new platforms to degrade various toxic chemicals which we are releasing by different industrial processes.
Right, sir. But when we are talking of biotechnology at that time, like during your PhD or early PhD time, the concept of biotechnology was very new and fresh in India.
Yes, that was very new, and many of the faculty are from biological sciences. So you have to understand, biosciences, biotech, two are different things. They're interlinked, but they are two different things because your approach in biotech has to be how do you do good science to create a technology, and that's what in India, if you look at institutions, researchers, I know they're good in biosciences, but creating technology is a different ballgame altogether. So you do experiments not just to publish a paper, but you do experiments to prove, you build a proof of concept to create a new technology in terms of a product or a process or a service. Then when it gets commercialized, I call this as a biotechnology.
Yeah, that's
So during 99, of course, it was new to India in terms of strategic biotechnology sector. But Department of Biotech, Government of India has been pushing so much of projects in this sector and setting up different kind of initiatives. Like today, you see a lot of innovation center.
yeah.
I think that was new that time. But when you start something new, you find a lot of challenges. But I find there are opportunities for you. So today, the 15 years back biotech in India and today is there a lot of difference.
Yeah,
So much
I
of
agree.
good things happening now in biotech in India.
My graduation is from Delhi University, and that time I
Good.
wanted to pursue biotechnology as my masters. So I remember that time also there was not a dedicated course
Yes.
in masters for biotechnology.
Right.
So then sooner or later, then the university started a course,
Well,
and now you have a definite, even if a department definitely for.
Department of Biotechnology, yes.
So moving ahead, sir. Now once you came into biotechnology, you picked up your interest, but this innovation or this translation part, where do you see, like, because when you are talking, like, that era is where the India was also conceptualizing the idea of biotechnology.
Right.
Infrastructure wise, we were not ready at that time, though we have walked a long way today standing at 2025. But at that time, from where did you get this vision that down the line this is going to be the area which is going to boom in a bigger way?
Yeah. So if you look at the science in India or the programs in India which is coming up, I have seen a lot of transitions happening. And that time it was not there, and there's expectations this is going to come up very soon. But if you look at the biotech area where we have been strong in biosciences, government was pushing through some of the programs. Institutions are not built properly that time, and then the program schemes share more towards basic sciences. But today, if you look at the several policies came into, for your information, the Bio3 policy, which is going to really give a the boost to the manufacturing capabilities of Indian continent, Indian continent for biotechnology. Now, if you tell me about 10 years back and today, students can think of exciting things. A professor can think of exciting things. For example, a professor, you are supposed to get funding from government to do research. Not a PhD scholars can get a grant.
No.
Today, a bachelor student who is past bachelor's in biotech can apply for grant to funding agencies we have called a BIRAC, which is where BIRAC is a offshoot of DBT, which promotes innovations in the country, and it gives money to an individual who is even young as a bachelor's pass. So he or she can write a project and on innovations. If he or she is developing interesting product process, which seems to be highly IP driven, if they get selected, they get 50 lakhs of grant rupees, which was never happening earlier. Today, many of our students here, they're getting all these grants, 50 lakhs each. And 50 lakhs grant is very good to start your innovations to take to next level. So I think a lot of things have changed today. So any individuals can think of beyond professors and researchers. Those who really want to, aspiring to a biotechnologist, they can really write grants at very early stage.
Sir, what is the process like if I am a student and then if I want to apply for such grants, what thing I should be first the model, basically the prototype maybe, and then what is the process to apply for this?
I'll give you the whole path for it. So, for example, you are individual, you are students, and you have got exciting ideas. Now, ideas are important, but the most important is which ideas, if you take it, whatever it develops in terms of a new product or process, does it have any commercial value? That you have to take it on, right? Because problems are many. But which problem you should solve, which will also bring economics for you. Otherwise, you keep on investing money, spending money, you don't get anything out of it. You only might get papers. So that is restricted to research laboratories. Now in innovations, you come as a student. For example, you say, okay, people are having, less hemoglobin and you want to really, so what you do to measure hemoglobin, you go to a hospital, you go to a diagnostic lab, you give your blood, they give you hemoglobin after some time, relative values. It is quite painful because they have to take your blood. You say, okay, I'm very good. No, a lot of interesting technology have come up now, AI ML platforms. So can I integrate AI ML into the healthcare sector? Can I build a device with taking electronics help that if I don't take any blood, simply I take your fingertip, put it on a sensor, can it give me hemoglobin values? You might have seen a lot of diabetes cases, sugar, a lot of things.
During COVID times, this oximeter, we can get him.
So can you bring those principles? So let's say you have an idea now. Now you want to work on the idea.
Right.
Where do you go? You go to your parents. They'll never give you money because they say go for a job. Now, who can give? There are several agencies now. So DST has a program called Nidhi scheme. This is supporting early stage innovators. Like I'm a bachelor's pass. I'm a master's student. I want to really get into not into PhD program. Through that JRF, I want to really get into innovations program. You might get 30,000 rupees per month fellowships for 12 months. Or you get a SIF fellowship, which is by the Deputy Government of India. If you get selected, you get 60,000 rupees per month fellowship for a bachelor's pass student. Having good idea, this is quite high than a GRF fellowship, which is 45,000.
Absolutely, any day.
Yeah. So gone are those days you were confined to do science with fellowship. You can practice, you can nurture innovations, taking innovation fellowship from DST, as I said, Nidhi, it's called EIR fellowship, Entrepreneurs in Residence fellowship.
Okay.
MEITI, the Minister of IT and Electronics, also got an EIR fellowship. Also, you get fellowship from there, 30,000 rupees per month. Beyond that, for SIP fellowship of BIRA gives you 60,000 rupees per month fellowship for 18 months to work on your innovative ideas. And if you're doing good, you get a 10 lakhs rupees as a kickstart grant to build your proof of concept or a prototype.
Wow.
These money are coming to an innovator who is very young, which was never did earlier.
Right. It can kickstart his work.
Yes. And then if you're doing good, then there's a different kind of grant comes in called Prayas grant. It's a prototyping grant from DST, Nidhi scheme, or maybe MEITI. They call it Genesis program. Now you have got a BIRAC big grant. It's called Biotechnology Ignition Grant, which gives 50 lakhs of rupees to an innovator who has interesting ideas, who has built part of proof of concept, and he or she wants to further work on it, will get 50 lakhs of rupees is the ceiling in the account from where he or she can spend. Just imagine how the transformation is happening in the country to promote biotechnology. Early stage, no such grants were there. Today, an innovator who is very early stage of 21-year-old of a bachelor's pass student can think of creating enterprise, taking the help of government different schemes, which I said just now, EIR, Prayas, SIP Fellowship, big grants of various agencies, including Innovations for Defense Excellence called IDEX. If you are really developing interesting thing, the Defense Ministry is giving 1.5 crore. In our ecosystem here in KIT TBI, have several grantees. We have taken very early stage 1.5 crore grant from defense to work on their ideas to go to next level. So I think many very less people they know about it. They keep on complaining things are not there. But I can tell you, the India is rising and shining on this, supporting several schemes to nurture innovations, especially in biotech sector, by various ministries, which I said, BioDAG, DST, every, MAITI, and also our different other ministries also.
Correct. Sir, this innovator or a young innovator we are thinking of, he has to be affiliated with any institute, or he can be an independent person just applying without any affiliate to any college or
No, I think you should have, minimum bachelor's degree pass, may not be affiliated to somebody.
Okay.
However, once you apply, somebody has to look, after you, because you are an individual.
Like
you
a
come with-
mentor?
Not only a mentor, so they have to be affiliated to a organizations called incubation center.
Okay.
So incubation centers many of them are linked to academic organizations like us, let's say KIT, IITs, IIMs. They have got the students or the innovator who has passed out from any college, university from the India, now may not be linked to that university only. They can come to any incubation center which is recognized by Government of India, various agencies, and they apply through them, because the money they never get directly from government. So when they get selected, they have to get money through an incubation center. So they have to be attached to incubation center, and they're called as a incubators. So incubators are people, individual or a startup company who really works with an incubation center, and they grow together. Okay, so they should not be affiliated to their academic organizations, but they have to be affiliated to the incubation center. And that today, if you look at the incubation center in India, it's growing up and up. Today, I think we're almost close to more than 1,000 plus incubator, which are promoted by DST Government of India, by the Government of India, MAITI, everyone. You could look at a defense IDEX program. Then you've got MSMEs, you have TDB. So, Atal Innovation Centers, AICM, Niti Aayog, I think more than 1,000 incubators in the country.
Yeah, amazing. Because I'm not sure many people are even aware of 10% of this information.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank
See,
you.
why I'm able to tell you, because I'm also a professor, as I said, but then also I practice nurturing innovation through an incubation center. And today, KIT Technology Business Incubator is quite respected because we are the largest in the country. And then also building that, how can you create manufacturing hubs? So if institutions of India, which are higher education institution, HEIs, if they think in this format that academics is important, more important is research, even much more important is innovation.
Right.
Best would be those innovations can go towards commercializations through tech transfer, or they can also lead to spin-off companies, which is West always talks about.
Right. I think in this line, all the IITs are slowly aligned, more or less. I see.
Yeah.
They have their incubators there, and then they have started their own companies and startups. So sitting in again, one of the incubators in India, which you are basically it's your brainchild. What we can say right now. So when did you think of this idea, and then how did it came up to your mind that let's start with this incubation here?
So actually, I'm trained in PhD I did from Delhi University, then postdoc I did from ETH Zurich, which is quite prestigious. Today, I think global rank is around 7 or 8. And I really, my mentors are a couple of Nobel Prize winners. Then I went to ETH Zurich to see how are they, why Swiss is so good, precision and all. So they have very good innovation ecosystems. So when I look at them, I have learned, but of course you cannot copy it best for Orissa or India, because Odisha has different geography, different mindset, different culture. So I was very practical in that. I learned from Switzerland and make it more Indian style, Odisha style, and try to build a platform where people start accepting, adopting, and practicing it. So 2007, I was invited by KIT University to set up School of Biotech. Parallelly, I thought, why can't we develop a parallel system where some of the innovative students, they should get access to a platform where they'll think differently and they'll practice innovations to go to next level. So for that, I think it was a very good fortunate for KIT University, which KIT University allowed us to set up an incubation center. And thanks to DST, so I approached DST Government of India. I was a professor. I was approaching for to get own research grant of my group. Also, I was approaching government to give some funding to set up a innovation incubation center. Thanks to DST Government of India, who initially gave us a incubation center and called, it's called NSTDB Center. And with that, we started our journey. 2009-10, we started here in Bhubaneswar. And everybody was saying, incubation, entrepreneurship in Odisha is not possible because people are not very enterprising.
Correct.
I think if you study genetics, there are many mutants exist. So you approached government, there's some of the mutants they want to do. And that's how all discussion started, and they supported because everybody is looking at India, they should do good. So DSC said, money is never a problem. Let me tell you today, by my experience, and funding support schemes are never a problem in India. It's all about our culture and mindset. So that, I think, excited me to build up a platform here. And KIT gave me a platform to set up this incubation center. And we started in the rooftop of School of Biotechnology because you cannot think big unless until you experiment it out that is working properly. So I believe in those piloting experiments. So piloting was done in the rooftop of KIT, School of Biotechnology. Students came into there, government supported. Some of the students came from electronics, electrical, medical colleges. And we started learning and we started promoting and nurturing that how can you take your innovative ideas to next level. I used to travel a lot to Europe, understand in Max Planck, in Sweden, in Germany.
You have collaborations there?
Of course, there are many. You see, innovations cannot be done in isolations.
Yeah.
Startups cannot be nurtured through isolation. It has to be collaborations more. So that's what we did, and created 2009-10 this incubation center. And then we have never stopped. Today, in KIT University, if you look at our incubation center, has now 1.3 lakh square feet built out space, which is more than a department.
Yeah.
It has 106 employees. Imagine,
Amazing.
incubation center, 106 employees. They're into intellectual property, designing, prototyping, engineers, biotech specialists, polymers, tech transfer officials, you name, design people, you name, those expertise are here. So that's what universities, today, apart from IITs and all, creating such platform in the ecosystem to nurture, support their faculties and the students, bring new ideas in the sector of biotechnology or biosciences and take them to a next level of technology development, which is commercial value.
Right, sir. But coming to this point only, sir, there are a lot of good institutes in India, right? They are bringing up good faculty, students, researchers per se. But I feel there is always a lacking of transferring the idea, conceptualizing it, making it feasible, and then transferring, spinning it off to a commercial angle. So, do you think that gap is still there, or
Of course.
it has improved?
Yeah, no, it has improved. Definitely, it has improved. If you look at the past, where the leadership of the institution, the vice chancellor, directors, were not aligned towards development of new things. They're always talking about publications, and publications, what projects you get. They're not talking about patents. Today, everyone is talking. Faculties, technicians, research scholar, directors, vice chancellors, researchers, everybody is talking about now patents. So patents have now gone away because everybody is filing patents. Our next phase has come, technology development towards commercialization. It could be startups, it could be tech transfer. Now people are saying, how can you create enterprises, spin-offs? So this culture is now evolving in India. If you look at the bioeconomy India is talking about, we are really going towards that. And this is because of a lot of people, they have changed their mindsets. They have built a new culture of taking innovations to enterprise level. Because if you keep on only innovating, not bringing any commercial, doesn't have any meaning. They're not sustainable.
True.
So I think the ecosystem is getting better today. The mindset is getting much better. Today, if I talk to any students and the faculty, they all talk about innovations now.
True. Agreed.
Startup.
Agreed. I was reading a report, sir,
Yeah.
some time back. So it was published in 2024, where it was said that from 2021 to 25, the projected was like almost like 10 billion US dollar
Yeah.
as a market. Now 2025, it is projected almost around 150 billion US dollar.
It's a
Right?
it's a able
Now,
report. Yeah.
and that is a project, and by 2030, it is projected to be 300 billion USD market.
Quite
So
fast.
that is the exponential growth. We are seeing a CAGR of almost like 15 plus.
Yeah.
We are seeing it. And that is amazing. The post-COVID, when the whole world was actually struggling, we have taken a takeoff in this segment actually.
Yes. Right. So this was possible because of the maturity, or maturity towards manufacturing. Because right now today, apart from doing good science, building new infrastructure, we have moved to promoting innovations, startups, commercialization. That's what today you could see. We can really manufacture in our country many things. Of course, it will take more time, but still the culture is being built up in our country.
True. Even the government initiative of Make in India has played a major role here.
Yeah, Make in India, Startup India, Invest India, all these platforms are helping. Of course, they don't give directly money support, but they bring a lot of policies and a lot of networks, international connect, and we have been taken advantage of those, leverage those kind of schemes. But yes, the mindset of India today is different.
Yeah.
We are more going towards the manufacturing side. It has not happened completely. Yes, we are going towards that. That's
Right.
all.
I think if the path is laid, more people are, and
Yes.
youngsters especially, they're more inclined towards going to this field. So as I like in Bangalore, I see you have a huge startup culture.
Yes.
If I ask a graduate, like what is like earlier 10 years back, also they might say I want to try for a bank job, or I might be trying for higher educations and all. Now people are more say, okay, let me try up with some my innovative idea,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
And that is what really is in a good, is a sunshine.
Yes.
On that part, if there is like, sir, if I want to create a mindset in young people, like who all are will be actually listening to this podcast, right? So for them, one, you said yes, as an early innovator, I can apply for different grants are there,
Yes.
and that will definitely boost up their morale and kick it off, right? But then taking it to the next step is where you can spin it off into form of a company.
Yeah.
So coming to as a formation of a company, it may be MSME or a small startup, whatever it is. So in that direction, what all facilities like government as well as incubation centers per se has a role to facilitate this?
So let me tell you briefly what incubation centers are. Incubation centers are a entity, a ecosystem, which brings a lot of expertise, which helps ideas to go to next level enterprise. For example, you are a student of biotechnology. What you go to is institution, you study, so there's academia, you do experiments, you get marks, right? Then you go for something else. Now here, teachers are always there with you in the school, in the department. Now, when you come to incubation center, there may not be teachers, that we call them a mentors, because mentors are not going to teach you every day. Mentors are going to come to you, talk to you as and when required, when you want to take your journey from ideas to enterprise. For example, if you go to an institution, school of biotech, who would be your faculty? Their expertise in some of the education, genetic engineering, plant biotechnology, biochemistry, microbiology. Because they're very specialized in technical know-how, academic know-how, or research know-how. Now, innovations to enterprise is a different ballgame together. You cannot look them through the lens of academics. You have to look at them through a 360-degree lens approach. It means you talk about science because science has to be strong. Otherwise, you cannot go to next level. Then you have to go talk about the prototyping, so designs and prototyping. And so those facilities are not in institutions, schools, but these are all in incubation centers. You get financial resources, you get mentors. For example, you want to file a patent, we'll have patent attorneys. You want to design prototype, we have design engineers here. Understood? So you want to set some sort of clinical trial, you have a regulatory specialist, clinical trial specialist here. These people you don't find in academic institution or in the organization. Yeah. Now you want to transfer technology, you should have tech transfer professionals, and they are different than others. Now, this platform ecosystem of incubation has a mentors I got mentors, different mentors with complementary expertise from ideas to enterprise, bringing technology, innovation, design, branding, marketing, business, prototyping, regulatory, trials, all specialists under one umbrella. Just imagine university institution might have thousands of students. If 100 thinks differently, brings right problem statements, come to incubation center, if they work on taking ideas to enterprise, if 10 get successful, it is going to change the regional economy. That's what I feel. Universities, like, and if you look at Oxford, Harvard, these are why they're popular. They are not popular only for academics. They're popular for bringing new innovations for the world. So it's a journey. It's a path building exercise. That's what incubation centers are today in India is been flourishing in many institutions to support innovations coming from individuals like students or faculties or researcher, take it to next level.
Right.
So we provide a lot of space, we provide infrastructure like in institutions, but these infrastructures are very, very certification, regulatory compliance oriented. So enable certified laboratories, ISO certified laboratory, GMP laboratory, GLP laboratories. If you go to institution, they are not those compliance oriented, right? Because they're all they do experiments.
Right.
But here experiments are done looking at economics, looking at going to next level of commercialization. So here infrastructures are very compliance oriented. So this wide spectrum of support from mentors to infrastructure, which are compliance oriented, that's why incubation centers are building up ecosystem to promote innovation.
I'll be a little bit specific here, sir. Uh, we are sitting in one of the incubation, as I said. So TBI, KIT TBI precisely, in the eastern, northeastern part, it has huge impact,
Yes.
right? So if you can just guide us through that, what changes your TBI, KIT TBI has actually brought in terms of not only innovation, I mean promoting younger minds,
Yeah.
as well as commercially, as you said, no, commercially, how the entire region has benefited out of this. If you
Okay.
can,
Yeah. So KIT University is quite popular in its academics, its research and all. But if you look at the innovation ecosystem, which was missing here in 2019 way back, where no incubator were in Odisha.
right,
Of course, also eastern northeast part of India. We had IIT Kharagpur, but then KIT BA was born in 2009. Now, what impact it has created today, if I tell you, a student who is studying medicine, or let's say School of Medicine, Electronics, or maybe in Biotechnology, can come here and see what is happening, bring ideas, talk to our mentors, and take the ideas into next level. I'll give you a couple of examples. One of our students from School of Biotechnology said, I want to really build a device which will look at the cardiac and the pulmonary, the lungs and cardiac signatures and give you the abnormalities, signs, symptoms.
correct,
And the company was born, and he's a biotech student. Company was born to build a company called Lark AI, which is a device which predicts your from the lungs and cardiac signature, predicts the abnormalities happening to you. And today you see a lot of cardiac arrest happening.
yeah,
It's a device. Imagine the same student would have gone for a PhD or gone for a job somewhere. Now he looks at the culture here and thinks differently. Let me solve a pressing problem or unmet need problem of the society. At the same time, I should create wealth for me and also create employment for others. By doing this, the same guy has hired 30 students. Imagine the impact of a one innovations by a one student creating so much wealth creation, IP creations, product development,
yeah,
enterprise creation, employment,
that-
exports, investments. Look, same guy would have gone for a job, would have only taken money from somewhere or work as a company.
absolutely,
Now, beyond this, what today, if you look at KTBI and what is created so far, now 2019 we started and we started few startup companies. We also learned in the process. But then we read today, so far I can tell the very good statistics, more than 460 odd startup companies we have promoted out of students. They are not only from KIT. So we have students, researchers, to come from across the country. And they set up the company here. We're from Hyderabad to Coimbatore to, New Delhi to Bangalore, all are here. The 460 odd startup companies we have promoted in our ecosystem since last 14 years. Now, all of them will never succeed. If you also go to Silicon Valley, which is a hub of startups,
yeah,
it's always a 10% they talk about. But surprisingly here, we are looking at 460 odd companies. I could see that more than 300 companies are surviving. They're living. They may not be big companies. So we have one company become 3 students of School of Electrical. They started a company called Robotic Wares, Far Eye. To the company is unicorn of India. Imagine they're becoming 10,000 crores company.
Yeah.
It may not be biotechnology, but it's a company, technology-based company. Now, the impact what our startup have created, so 460 odd startup, let's say whoever succeed, let's not discuss on that. Altogether, the company have created more than 10,000 number of jobs, including jobs for biotech, also for the mechanical, electrical, computer science student. Imagine a regional impact can be created by promoting innovation in ecosystem. So incubation centers like us has 460 odd startup promoted, 10,000 plus jobs created. These companies have created more than 300 intellectual property, which we call patents.
Yeah.
And more than 190 of them are women-based entrepreneurs. Just imagine, women were not never, you were talking about they are going to set up a company.
True.
This incubation center really could help many of the women to think differently at a very early stage of their life, very young student. Now, in result, this company have raised, apart from, for example, our incubation center, have given more than 200 crores grant money through government agencies like DST, Biolab, MIT, IDEX to these companies, to the startups. But these companies have raised more than 1,800 crores private equity fund.
Oh, wow.
Imagine
Amazing.
the impact what it can create. I am very happy that it's created 10,000 jobs, so much of IPs, so much of women entrepreneurship. And then some of them are really solving local problems, regional problems. They may not be scaling up, but that's what also important. Parallelly, you have to create wealth, create solutions for the regional development. And that's what I think inclusions are. But of course, everybody's not doing like this. True. This should be the best practices of incubation system to help regional development, to help startups to go to next level, create employment. A time will come, many of the blood will have the language of innovations to entrepreneurship. That's what I think, important.
Very well said, sir. Very well said.
And our center, especially KTBI, which is supported by various agencies, is not only confined to KIT or to Odisha. We are now expanding it to different states of east and northeast of India.
Correct.
To play the role of a mentor incubator. For example, we're very happy that we are not only a classical incubator to provide space, mentorship, finances, but we have gone beyond for regional development. So thanks to the government of Manipur, we have set up a Manipur Tech Innovation Hub, which is the KIT TBI is the implementing partner with the Department of IT of the government of Manipur. And there we have a 6 members team working on regional development. Just now I said how KIT TBI is doing. But the best part is that we are very clear. We'll work with them. Once they're better, we'll withdraw ourselves. There will be no withdrawal symptoms.
They will become a self-sustained model.
Self-sustainable or self-driven.
Yeah.
Then we'll come back. We'll withdraw ourselves. And there are no withdrawal symptoms. True. Very clear about it. So if you don't develop such regional economy by incubation processes, we don't want innovations should be only confined to Hyderabad, Bangalore, or Pune, or New Delhi. India is not only these 4 cities. India is beyond it.
Yeah.
Why can't we develop in Odisha, in Manipur, Impal, in Guwahati, in Nagaland, for example? They have several problem statements regional. You bring best practices of innovations, help regional problems to get resolved, and then it will promote some of the local people to create entrepreneurship. This could be horticulture based, agriculture based. They don't have to build vaccine based company, which Bangalore and Hyderabad is doing.
True.
So let's not replicate what has been done in other places. Let's look at the regional potential, do that mapping exercise.
Yeah.
And through innovations, you can really resolve those problem statements, the regional problem, and also create economy for the development. That's what I feel. Incubation centers should not be only doing academic activities or running some program. It has to create enterprises which should create bigger economy and employment.
True, sir. I totally agree with that point because when COVID time, everybody was after making vaccines, as if biotechnology is only making vaccines. Right? But that's not the story.
No.
The story is, as you rightly said, there is lot of areas, lot of burning issues. There are also certain pertinent issues which we have almost settled down, compromised. We have never thought on it. But if you can address it at a local level, at least that area will be benefited out of that innovation.
For example, I'll give an example where how you can think differently. Let's say we have Odisha, West Bengal, all rice producing states, and the rice stubble, the rice husk, we burn it.
Yeah.
And then you complain about climate change, and then carbon footprint and all. Now,
Somebody says it's agri waste. Now, it doesn't have much value. That's it, people are burning. If I give you better value, you'll not burn. You'll start doing better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So somebody comes in, is a company, Gulliver Sake, is a company called ProBiochem. He's a process engineer. He says, I want to convert this agri stubble, the rice stubble or the rice husk, into microcrystalline cellulose, MCC.
Okay.
And the value of rice husk, 3 to 4 rupees a kilo. He converts into better price because he converts those in a process to make microcrystalline cellulose, which are cosmetic grade, because MCC is used in cosmetic industries. Source is different. Now he's bringing source from rice husk, which is very good, right? Biological, organic, yeah. And then the rest becomes fertilizer and something called a silica gel they get out of, which is required. You have seen silica gel everywhere. Imagine if this is being deployed in many places like Haryana, the Punjab side, the burning issues, stubble issues. If somebody thinks about it and take those technology and deploy it, commercial value, livelihood generations through resolving the environmental problems of this smog and all coming up. This is what the power of innovation I feel and the biotech can address. So people think in this direction. How can I do experiments for a purpose to solve a problem statements, which will be much more beneficial for the society. Same time, I bring economics.
Absolutely.
That's the mindset of the faculties and the researchers should be also. Some of them, of course, all of them, you cannot expect everybody to think, but at least the culture has to be like this.
Right, right. So, Bhubaneswar city is also as a knowledge innovative cluster. So, this knowledge innovation cluster, what is this concept all about, sir?
So, as I said, you have seen universities across the country, the globe. You have got incubation centers now coming across the institutions, be it, universities, IITs, IIMs. Now, numbers are going up and up. Their job is to develop innovations to next level of product and processes and service, startups. Now, they all belong to some institutions. So, they are not neutral organizations. Now, we wanted to bring a strategic platform, and thanks to the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India, the first PSA to the Honorable Prime Minister of the Government of India was late Abdul Kalam ji. So he was the first PSA. Now then later on subsequently other PSA came, and currently our PSA is Professor A.K. Sood, who advised the Government of India, especially the Honorable Prime Minister, on scientific things. Now under that Office of PSA, they have established now 8 clusters. Jodhpur, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Chandigarh, Bhubaneswar also, and Vizag. And the purpose is to bring a collaborative approach, cluster approach. I'll give you an example. So when there's a project comes or technology comes, it belongs to institution, one institution or two. Now let's take up a problem statement of Odisha. Let's say we have a Chilika Lake.
Okay.
Chilika Lake has a weed species called phragmites. The scientific name is called phragmites. We call it nullburn. Now, nullburn is expanding in Chilika. Chilika is shrinking.
Yes, yes.
Now, which is not good for the ecology, right? For the balance of Chilika Lake. Now, scientists might come from institutions of one or two. Somebody will say, okay, let's cut it. Then somebody say, what will you do with once you cut it? It grows again. Somebody says, okay, you put some herbicide, weedicide, you just, no, it's not possible.
The aquatic animals.
Natural lake, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody says, okay, I'll uproot it. Somebody says, no, hold on, you cannot do it because environmentally not
Correct.
justified. Now, this could be a problem statement to solve. Now, institution will say, I'll work on part of the problem statements.
Okay.
But cluster says, this is a problem. How do you bring complementary expertise, including industry, academia, researcher, public, civil society, bureaucracy, local, political group to resolve it under a clusters program? So, for example, we took it. We have faculty from KIT University, we have from CPET, we have from IMMT. We really together, and even some of the other company are supporting it. Even the CSR support coming up. PSA office is supporting us to create a technology which will use these phragmites and create interesting product. So we brought a technology called making particle board, corrugative board, packaging material, papers out of this phragmites carca, which you call, which is thread to Chilica.
Right.
Now once you cut it,
It again
Don't uproot, again it grows. So it's called sustainable harvesting. Now you cut it every 2 months, you get it. So you keep on creating an enterprise.
Yeah.
Help some of the fishermen or fisherwomen not to go always for fishing, because how much fish you can do in the same lady, right?
Yeah.
Overfishing is not good. Tell them, because they also need livelihood. You bring them alternative livelihood where biotech people come in, everybody comes in, material scientist comes in. Oh, we can make particle boards, corrugative boards out of it. Then build a piloting plant there. Now, Department of Science, Technology, Government of India also came into picture, said this will be very good for a societal benefit.
Yes.
Give a pilot project to the faculty in Kids School of Biotechnology, where also others are member, and could see, can you build a pilot scale where you take these pragmites and create particle boards. Now, this is what a city clusters initiative, bringing together people on board.
Yeah.
Now imagine there are many industries, they're creating in the process, they also release a lot of these flyers. Flyers is a nuisance because many other people, they use it for bricks,
Yeah.
which is also not environment friendly. Now imagine a big company says, I produce so much of metric tons of flyers. Please help me
Yeah. Yeah.
to create something which will be usable for shoreline management. Odisha is a coastline, right? 180-kilometer coastline. Now, there's a technology exists which says 70% concrete can be removed, replaced with fly ash to make self-healing concrete technology, which is developed in Cambridge University, Liverpool, Newcastle. I was there and I saw a technology existing there. It is on the shelf. Now, who talks about it? Who knows about it? That this technology exists in Cambridge. Now, that's where the city cluster was born to work as a hub and spoke model, work as a collaborative model, work as a clusters model, and as a global platform in the city clusters to look at technology where it exists, problem where it exists. How do you bring these solutions for the problem areas?
Right.
So that you don't spend again money by doing duplicating things.
Correct.
Again, somebody is going to develop it. No need. It's in Cambridge on cell. Can you bring it, put it on Paradip on ground?
That's it.
Fast tracking technology deployment is the major objective of the city cluster. So you see the value chain, universities, incubation, city clusters. If they work together, they'll create the right value chain of getting good knowledge, disseminating good knowledge, building new technology, deployment of new technology for social goods. So one more thing I'll tell you, there's a company we have called Bioflow Lab, who is developing a robotics platform to manage the aquatic bodies. If you go to Karnataka, let's say Mangalore, in Bangalore, you might find many of the ponds are not in good health.
Yeah. Yeah.
DOD, COD, lot of right?
Problems are there.
Right. If you remove silt, again there'll be siltation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Bioflow Lab brings a robotics platform which you put in the water. It measures BOD, COD, other parameters
Correct.
of the water, tells the local authority real time what is the value. Based on the value, it also gives the certain materials to the water to maintain the BOD and COD for a long time.
Oh, wow.
In the process, it also tells you how much fish productivity has gone up. Imagine the water bodies in these local areas connects people.
Absolutely.
If this is not in good health, you don't get good things. So when you manage this to technology, it will. So there's a company who gave us what do you call it, Amadeus Travel Agent Company, gave us a CSR fund, told the city cluster to please bring a technology for rejuvenation of aquatic bodies in Mangalore. So Bariflow was contacted, now going to Mangalore, deploying this technology in 3 lakes and to manage it for next 3 years. Now, this is what a city cluster does. It doesn't do reinvent the wheel. It doesn't do basic research again for a couple of years. It brings, what you call certified, matured technology for deployments. So you bring problems, reference, we will bring solutions. Many from Odisha, many from India, correct? Maybe from the whole globe. So that's surveillance, that's hub and spoke model we have created now under city cluster, and that's what the principal scientific advisor office is nurturing. So this is different kind of applications, and city cluster is now bringing a new concept to Odisha to set up a new economy that's called blue economy.
Blue economy.
Blue economy. So Odisha is a 480-kilometer coastline, right? Never we have explored how to create economy out of it. The city cluster looked at it, built a conference platform, brought in Indian Navy, Niti Aayog, McKinsey, everyone It's a very convergence. It's not academic conference. And international people, Cambridge, and Imperial, all came into here, discussed about how do you create blue economy concept, how Odisha can be positioned as the launchpad for blue economy, and bringing institutions together, community together, government together, policymakers together, Indian Navy together, and see that how can you create economy out of it. Under that, city cluster brought in 50 selected startup companies who are working on blue economy. It means with the sea, could be underwater surveillance, could be seaweed cultivations, phytopharmaceutical, and showcased here for 2 days to the whole country. And that's what city cluster is looking at, bringing technology for deployment, not to keep it somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of city cluster. And I'm sure today we have 8 clusters, and Bhubaneswar cluster, where I'm a chairman, we have a whole team of CEO and others are also working on it. They're building compendium in different sectors, which will give you easy access to different solutions. Exist in, let's say, access to water, potable water, renewable energy, blue economy, diagnostics, in agriculture sector, food technology. So these we are missing earlier because institutions always talk about institutional development,
Right.
or initiatives.
Right.
We talk about the whole
So I see as
gamut of innovations
right, sir.
happen in the world.
Correct.
How can you bring it for deployment in many places which are developing nations, underdeveloped nations, or developed nations? That's the whole idea.
Correct. Correct. So it's basically a end-to-end solution.
End-to-end solutions, and we are matchmaking platform. We don't develop solutions. We bring solutions, refine it, package it in such a way it can go for deployments.
Correct. Well, as you said, no, you don't have to reinvent the wheel again.
No need.
If it is there somewhere, why don't you just implement it? Deploying is the major
Yes.
area which we are still at such a.
I'll give you an example. We have NHS from UK,
Mm.
and NHS is a national health platform which promotes health. Is a government initiatives. Now, UK and India, we have started a program under Bhubaneswar City Clusters
Right.
called Health Tech Bootcamp. So NHS team came, UK government, the FCDO supported us, the British High Commission supported us, gave us funding to select, to reach out to our startups in across India who have built technology which are TRL 5 and above, means technology readiness level 5 and above technology.
Right.
Bring them, call NHS team and others expert from UK, look at which technologies are very, very important, and take 6 to 8 top innovations to UK. It means UK has some problem statements. They don't want to develop it further again because they have seen Indian startups have already developed it. Now, how can you take them from India to UK and start deploying it in UK? Trial in UK, investment from UK. These are the whole things. That's what is UK India. The partnership on digital health tech bootcamp was driven by City Cluster. Imagine, why to reinvent the wheel by UK people? UK reached out to City Cluster, build it together, mature company TRL5 goes to UK. They might, quickly take them to TRL5 to 8 for deployments.
True.
That's what I think we have to also practice in Indian continent.
True, sir. I think solution-oriented work is more important.
Yes.
We have been doing like one-to-one innovations and research in closed labs.
Close
But
labs.
the problem, what you are or what you are addressing very rightly is collaborations. Like I come from a medical institute where I see like researchers are there. There's a one compartment. Clinicians are there. Although there are collaborations, but there is a huge gap
Huge
at the same time. So true, this cluster is a wonderful concept which is even new for me, and I think most of the people who will be listening this, they will also get a.
This is going to change a lot of things in the region, and I could see city clusters are going to be on the high level think tank knowledge platform where bureaucracy, political will, society all can come, industries can bring problem statements. The solution might come from anywhere, including from Luxembourg. Right? You never know. So these surveillance or these what you call the platforms you're creating to bring cross-border partnerships for fast tracking, bringing solutions for deployments. That's the whole idea.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Coming to the end part of it,
Yeah.
like where do you see 10 years down the lane in the same scenario as India in a global perspective?
See, today, if you see India, I look 10 years, 15 years back. Today, I feel I'm so happy that India is rising and shining. The brand of India today, and as I am talking about biotechnology now, let's forget other field. Biotech and innovation sector. Every ministry is now pushing biotech-based innovations happen, right? Be it from Biotech to DST or with Meiti and IDEX. Now, the best part is recently you might have heard the Bio-E3 policy has come. The Bio-E3 policy talks about creating different platforms which will increase the capabilities of institutions, individual startups, industries to manufacture more in India. Now, this was not happening earlier. We were all talking about science, technology, patents, innovation, and today, proudly I can say, even incubation centers can create small platforms called biofoundries, which is just before biomanufacturing, and to help their startup, help their enterprise to think about manufacturing. If you don't do that, you'll never find a sustainable economy. What we are talking about, the bioeconomy of India, it has to come from biomanufacturing capabilities. And the right time today, and next 10 years, you could see a lot of biomanufacturing will happen in India through many of these platform of biofoundries or biomanufacturing hub. And just I was telling you, KTB is so fortunate that we are also pushed marine sector. They said blue economy, and we will also be setting up the support of government of say BIRAC and DBT, the first biofoundry to support our marine-based startup companies through marine biofoundries hub in KTBI to support startups to go to next level of creating new products. So I could see India is now looking at manufacturing. India is looking at promoting more technology commercializations, which was not happening earlier.
Right.
Today, I'm very happy that the National Biopharma Mission under the BIRAC and DBT, they have created now 8 TTO centers, tech transfer offices. KTB is one of them. We're very good team here who is now reaching out to institutions, industry, startups, researchers, professor, looking at the technology which has a commercial value, helping them to transfer to a industry or to entity. See that technology which you developed should not be on the shelf for long. Otherwise, it doesn't have values. True. If that culture you built it, that's why India is now building new programs of promoting tech transfer offices, incubation centers. Mark my words today, some of these incubation centers will be a hub for manufacturing in future. This 10 years, I could see a bright future. We'll have a lot of capacity building programs for students to support manufacturing capabilities. And the institutions of repute, like I said, good universities, ATIs, will create infrastructures which are GMP, GLP oriented, compliance oriented. They'll have much more understanding how the things goes to next level. And this is what India is going to be, a new India, which will focus more on manufacturing in next 10 years. I'm quite hopeful and will play also some role for this part of the country.
Absolutely, sir. I think you have already started contributing. Your contribution is going to manifold or increase over a period of time. And overall, as we see, the positioning of India is very strong. And going ahead, we should be stronger.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, as well as being self-sustained, solving our not only our global problems but also our local problems.
Regional problems. That's what I could say.
I think we had a wonderful discussion today. Most of the things were very much new to me and also to the audience here in this platform. I believe that, as a young entrepreneur, as a young innovator, they might have taken a view like points which were very, very fresh. At least for me, it was very fresh. So I think that can actually help them in if they're planning to do something on these lines, right?
Yeah.
So that value addition through you has been transferred to the audience, and thank you immensely for giving
Thank you
this
so much.
information to us.
Yeah, doing good work. Keep on doing good work. India is rising and shining.
Right.
We should be all part of it. And only the message I want to give here that for students, faculty, researchers, that gone are those days where you only focus on doing experiments for a publication,
Right.
or for a patent. Now, no more number game. It should be quality game. Some of you definitely have to file in, you have to also publish, you have to file patent, but think about some of your innovation, some of your thought process should go to developing innovations towards commercialization. If it happens, lab will be happy, it will be very happy, you'll be very happy, and at the end, the country is going to
Country will
really
be happy.
contribute. Yes, salute you for your contribution. That's what I'm looking at biotechnology. Not only promoting biosciences, is promoting true technology out of biosciences.
I think that is what, sir. As an individual, we have a certain morality to give back to community.
Yes.
through our whatever limited expertise we are having it. And I think on that you are one of those people which many people should follow. That's what I can say.
Thank you so much.
And looking forward to have some more discussions with you sometime in future. Catch you up, and it's wonderful talking to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.